If you can relate to any of these that I talk about, it's time to tap the brakes. The entire idea here came from a message that we got through the website and our, just customer service software. And I read it and I was like, there's got to be some sort of educational example here. So took the screenshot and have revisited it. And upon reading it a couple more times, maybe there's more, but for sure there's at least 3 problems that, if you have any one of them, and especially all 3, then I'm not saying that's a sign that you should never trade, but that's a sign that, if you are trading with real money, then you really need to probably reconsider a few things. So let's get to this little customer service chat that I got. Good morning, I'm up scanning and looking over your $99 course. I poured mostly everything into Robinhood so there would be no turning back. Probably not the best idea, but works for me. I think I'll try your chat room as well. I'll know when I budget out everything. Oh boy. All right, well, let's go with number 1. Maybe you have to at least have seen a couple of these, but the first one, their words, not mine. Poured mostly everything all in. So all in. And I'm not sure I've ever seen this approach, but no turning back. I'm not quite sure what the logic behind that is. Maybe just put full effort in, but I mean, no turning back, putting everything they have into an account. Don't do that. If you have done that, stop. That's a sign that you don't know what you're doing. You should not be trading. Again, I'm not saying that you can never come back and trade, but as far as kind of where you stand in your journey at this moment in time, probably I'm assuming you haven't, there's no turning back. But as far as, all in, that's not a good mentality. Whether it's you put everything into an account, whether you're putting big, size into just one single position with a go big, go home type mentality. That's a sign. There's stuff up here that you're not realizing and that you need to take into account, and that you just flat out don't know how to put together a proper trade plan and a proper strategy, because both of those are never going to allow you to go all in or anything of that nature. The second thing, as far as that is concerned, what I'm going to call not following instincts. Meaning this person, did you catch it? Yeah, I know this. So what they're referring to is what we just talked about in number 1. I know that's probably not a good idea, but it's going to work but it works for me. Do you understand the just total flaw there in logic? Okay, you admit something is probably not wise, but you think it's going to work for you. Well, why would it work for you if your instincts are saying that it's probably not wise in the first? Do you see? The mind is such a tricky place. It's amazing how somebody where they say it's not good, but for me it'll be okay. What makes you the exception? Why do you think that even though your instincts are telling you that it's not okay, that you're going to be the exception? That just doesn't make any sense. And then finally, and this one may be a little bit more hidden, but they mentioned the $99. Now, they say course. It's not a course. That is a $99 per year subscription service that I offer that gives access to the live trading room, the newsletter scans that I send out, and all that. So not a course, but the subscription. And what do they say? Well, see if budget allows. Now, first off, I commend them. At least they're somewhat aware of personal finances and budgeting and making sure that maybe they're not spending more money than they make, such a novel concept. But I do want to give credit where credit's due. Good. I'm glad that they're factoring that in. However, and I get it, money does not grow on trees, but $99 for something where it gives you access for an entire year, if your budget, if that's maybe going to tilt your budget or throw your budget out of whack, $100, again, I get it. Money doesn't grow on trees, but at the end of the day, it's $100. So if $100 is that much of a potential tipping point in your budget, I would say, you know what? You need to focus more so on your personal finances for the time being than trying to come down this path we call trading in the markets, which is very difficult, which is very labor intensive. And it does take worthwhile amounts of capital to give yourself a true possibility at success. Whereas, like I said, if $100 is playing that much of a role, then I would venture to guess, and my confidence level is pretty high, that this person needs to be putting their priorities, rearranging them again, and their priority getting to the point of where $100, like I said, I'm not advocating just throwing money away or anything like that. But in their words, they got to see if their budget, can allow. You know what I mean? It's just, it seems to be too much of a factor into this decision-making process where it shouldn't be. Again, I'm not saying throw your money away, but you should be able to look at the situation and say, okay, $100. Oh, wow, for an entire year. All right, that should work. And it should be kind of, relatively passing. And then really, I guess, number 4 just kind of dawned on me here. Where are going back to priorities, like I said. So they have money to trade, even though they're, all in, but yet this is going on right now. So you have money to trade, but you don't have money to just do a very fair, not even necessarily my service, but something else that could help you as a trader. You don't have enough money for that, but you have enough money to trade. So what's going on exactly with priorities? So I guess we'll leave the title of this as 3, but I guess that'll be technically clickbait since there is 4 that I just discovered as I talked out loud about all of this. But if you're doing any of these or you recognize any of this in your personal situation, once more, not saying that means that it's a red flag. You can never, ever trade. I'm just saying you really need to reassess the situation or else, you're going to learn the hard way. And the hard way is not fun and it's not cheap. So hopefully this can help you out. But yeah, be honest with yourself, run a self-audit. And if you see any of these, problems as I call them, then yeah, that's a sign that you should tap the brakes on the trading for the time being. If you are out there trading alone currently and maybe are in the market looking for a community to join to assist you in your trading or to just help you, give you another set of eyeballs, then I do have a private trading community where you can trade alongside me and other experienced traders. So what you see popping up on the screen right now is both an information link. So if you click on the inner circle one, that is going to take you to the page where I explain all the details of what exactly come with the community, both the chat room and the newsletter. And then the other image that has popped up is a behind the scenes tour where you can see exactly what is going to be contained within the community. I take you through, like I said, a behind the scenes tour of everything, and that way you'll know precisely what you are getting when you join. So definitely check that stuff out if you are interested and thinking about wanting to join a community, and let me know if you have any questions.